of finding new ways to get water to people, you need to make sure you're always able to step out of your own conventional thinking. So, just inspired by that snarky blog post, I decided to come up with a few totally wild ideas straight out of my head. These are not intended to be practical, but ways of solving water problems just to inspire us not to do these things, but to think in all new ways about how to solve water problems. And Jim, for some reason, thinks this is a good way to wrap up. So here are 6 completely impractical ideas, at least that cranky blogger, who might actually be in the room unless we wore him out and he left, can't say that there weren't some new ideas offered. They are not practical ideas. The first is the U.S. created the Peace Corps 50 years ago. Wouldn't it be nice if we created a water corps? Just young people spending a year just solving water problems. We could also, idea number 2, have a water corps of water professionals. People who work in the water industry. There are, it was alluded to, 56,000 water utilities in the United States alone. People on loan from Veolia or GE Water or IBM Water or Siemens Water for 6 months to go out into the field and actually solve water problems for a focused community, and then come back to the corporation with a different perspective on water problems. I think it would be wonderful if the developed world countries would import dirty water from the villages and rural communities where people actually drink in it and bathe it. And we could put that imported dirty water in bottles on grocery store shelves with a label that said something like, here's what your fellow mothers in pick a country, India, Somalia, Bangladesh, are giving to their children tonight. Maybe we could use the revenue to actually solve the problems in the places the water came from. I thought it would be cool to have $1 a month checkoff on your water bill, if you just did it in the United States, to again pick a place and solve the water problems of that place. So you could voluntarily offer an extra $1 a month on your water bill collected by the water utility. There are 100 million homes in the U.S. If only a quarter of them participated, that's $300 million in revenue a year. And every month I would get a report on my water bill of progress solving the water problem that money was going to. That's such a wild idea that after my lunch talk, the folks from the UK came up and told me that in the UK, they do it already. How about a website? www.watersolutions.com. Unfortunately, that's actually taken by a water company, but I bet you we can make them an offer. Where a collection of stories, guidance, case histories about every water problem and how it's been solved. In fact, thousands of communities around the world, developed world, developing world, least developed world, have tackled water problems of all kinds and solved them. And the thing that I have found as a sort of gatherer of stories about water and a storyteller about water is people are really hungry or thirsty to understand how other people have solved their problem. You simply go to the website with your water problem. If you're the leader of water in Cincinnati, Ohio, or Miami, Florida, or in a village in Asia, punch in your 3 keywords, and a bunch of case studies pop up that tell you how to solve those water problems. Most water problems, in fact, are solvable with the resources and the water and the intelligence available right in the community where they're happening. What people need to know is how someone else did it. And by the way, if you do that on the internet, you could have a little button next to the case study that says, this is my water problem. I want to apply for funding from that U.S. water bill fund to get my water problem solved, and then you could ask for the money right then. And then the afternoon was supposed to be about how to develop a marketing and branding campaign about water. Someone asked the question, who needs to know? What's the question people should ask? And I came up with a very simple, direct slogan, which is water first. Water first. Before you build me a highway and give me high-speed internet access and cell phone service, which, you know, that most people in the world now have access to all of those things, but 40% of the people don't have access to clean, safe drinking water every day or have to walk to get it. In the headquarters where the governments of the world come together to solve problems, how about water first? How about unleashing the health and economic opportunity of water by making sure everybody has water to drink? So those are my 6 completely absurd ideas. What I heard today, I thought, was mostly optimistic. The complexity aside, the thing that I learned traveling around the world talking to people about water is water problems, unlike many other complicated global problems, water problems are solvable. Almost everything we heard on all of these panels today was about the kind of human, bureaucratic, institutional difficulty of solving the water problem. Yes, there are places that don't have water, there are places that don't have money, there are places that don't have resources, but the scale of water problems is right at the community level, right at the human level, and that's the good news. We can actually solve this problem. Anyway, I've had a great time being here today. Thank you all.